Are you happy with the way the town of Southold managed the COVID crisis? If so, what did you like? If not, what would you have liked to see done differently?
I'm answering as a school board member that we were blessed to be one of the fastest opening schools and fastest responsive by delivering food and education to our students in need. And we were one of the quickest to act, and we acted unanimously. The superintendent proposed a plan to us how to reopen safely, how to make sure our students were protected, and the buses rolled. And that, our action, helped keep companies like Sunrise from going belly up. If you remember your Newsday articles, all across Long Island, school buses went belly up, and we saved our precious Sunrise and folks that work hard who were the bus drivers. We had a quick response, and we kept the schools going, and we kept our kids safe, we kept our teachers safe. Evidently that did not occur. Now, as a person of faith, I believe in acts of God, so in some way COVID is an act of God that nobody was prepared for, but there was lack of response that happened in town hall where phones are ringing off hooks, and things like coding issues are sack up in the hall, and there was no procedure, no following of what the governor's orders were, no way to make sure that things could be safely, or somebody could go in by themselves safely with a mask or with PPE to make sure they can answer the phone. So, again, where is the emergency response plan when you have an emergency? And that's something that the county asked the towns to do, that's something that the state asked the towns to do. And whatever our emergency plan was, it wasn't sufficient. Now, again, it was an act of God. But again, we have to learn from our mistakes. We have to get a better response to make sure we get everybody has kept safe. So I don't think that the town's response was sufficient. I understand it was an act of God, but we have to do better in those situations.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Williams, for the question repeated.
Yes, please.
Are you happy with the way the town has managed the COVID crisis? If so, what did you like? If not, what would you have liked to see done differently?
Overall, I'm satisfied with the way that the town did handle the COVID crisis. It's very easy to play Monday morning quarterback, and we were in unique times. The supervisor's office was in contact with the county executive and the governor's office. We were national news. I had college friends from Oregon and Texas reaching out to me on Yahoo homepage. Hey, Southold town, we're the epicenter of it. And it was very challenging. It was very scary, very unnerving. But we all made it through. And, you know, I'm not going to say I'm happy or unhappy. It was a very undesirable thing we all had to deal with. And some of our friends in the business community suffered. Others flourished. But, you know, hopefully as a community we all made it through. One of the things I did enjoy was that everybody seemed a lot nicer. Everybody was more polite, more cautious. People spent more time with their families. And if anything good came out of it, maybe that was it.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Dorosky. Would you like me to repeat the question?
No, I get it.
All right.
I think our town government's response to COVID is just another example that more of the same is not enough. Look at it this way. It took Southold Town 4 months to hold a Zoom meeting. It took my congregation a few weeks. And yes, Southold Town was the epicenter of the COVID pandemic, but I worked at the business that had the first case. And we were in there first thing in the morning, solving problems. You know, we didn't wait around. We brought a professional cleaning company in, got the place cleaned up, touched base with all of our staff immediately, put policies and procedures in immediately to keep people safe, and kept the business running. We saw our town government treading water. 4 months to get on Zoom is insane to me. It's unacceptable. You know, just look at the people that were lined up around the streets in Southold to get beach parking stickers because they couldn't figure out how to get people things that they needed. I think we need to do better as a town government. And we as citizens need to expect more from our government. We can't accept the same old anymore.
Thank you, Mr. Rossi. Mr. Savino, would you like the question repeated?
No, I think I have this one. Yes, COVID was definitely an unknown, and response from Southold town, I experienced something completely different. I was actually contacted by the town supervisor, and not just myself, but I believe there were like 5 other sectors of businesses or types of businesses that were contacted to find out what our needs were. And we did this over a period of a couple of weeks, and I felt like, wow, I couldn't believe that, you know, the town supervisor was reaching out. I was immediate past president of the Long Island Wine Council. He didn't know that I had stepped down, another president had already come in, but he reached out to me because I was immediate past president, and I was from Southold. The current president is from Riverhead Town. So my experience was completely different. I thought the town government was actually taking a step forward. I'm sure there was a lot of apprehension in what is the correct thing to do. How do we keep the public safe? It was a complete unknown. If I were there, I might be more proactive. I would definitely look to help the community as much as possible. But my experience was that the town was trying to help because I did receive the call. And no, it wasn't Zoom, but it was a conference call. And there were 7 or 8 of us on the phone calls when we spoke, and each of us had different sectors of business, and we discussed our needs. So again, my experience was a little different, and I'm sure there's room for improvement. And I think going forward, if I'm in the board position, I would definitely be much more proactive if I can. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Savino. All right, look at you guys.